There are divine appointments that God is setting up for you once you walk out of those doors, and He expects to be able to have the ability to use you to turn the course of someone's life. I'm reminded of a true story during the Korean War, where they had these MASH units. Remember the old show MASH, where it was a comedy show, many of you remember. Well, they had this MASH unit where they would bring the wounded soldiers in once they were wounded, and the doctors and the nurses would go through to assess the wounded. And they would give one of 3 tags based upon the severity of the injury. The first tag was a white tag. That tag was given to someone that was wounded, but we can put them over to the side. It's not urgent right now, and they'll recover, but we can get to them a little bit later. That's a white tag. A blue tag was given to a soldier that was wounded, and they might have a chance to survive if we get them immediately into surgery. We'll give that person a blue tag. And then there was the last tag, the tag that you did not want to get. It was the red tag. The red tag was given to the soldier that was wounded so severely that it was deemed a waste of time, energy, effort, supplies to do anything for that soldier. They're gonna pass on anyway. So they would give that soldier a red tag, and they would give him morphine so they wouldn't be in pain, and let them pass. As a doctor and nurse are going through assessing the wounded, red tag, blue tag, white tag, blue tag, red tag. They finished their rounds, and the nurse went back to put the tags on the beds. And there was a soldier that had been given or prescribed the red tag. And as she went to put the tag on the bed, the soldier all of a sudden wakes up, grabs the nurse by the arm, and says, "Tell my wife I love her. And tell my kids I love them." And he passed out again. Moved with compassion, and compassion alone, the nurse of her own accord decides to change the tag of that soldier and gave him a blue tag. She didn't have the authority to do that. Weeks go by, months go by, and a train of jeeps come up to this MASH unit, and a colonel comes and does rounds to do an assessment of their facility. And he checks their records and sees that somebody changed the tag of a soldier. So he pulls the entire medical staff together and says, "Who changed the tag of this soldier? Because I've heard a report that this soldier is now home with their wife and children recovering. We have protocol. We have a way of doing things. Who changed the tag?" And meekly and humbly, the nurse approaches and says, "I changed that tag." And the colonel goes to that nurse, falls on his knees, and cries and says, "You saved my son." Can God use you to change the tag of someone out there that the world will walk by and say, "It's waste of my time. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the resources"? Will you be moved with compassion with the Word of God and the love of God that you have been sown and deposited in you? Can God speak to you at that time to turn the tag of someone else?